Well, it's just after 9, and our quad chat has started. Yes, quadcopters, folks, not quads, four-wheelers.
Or quads like your thigh.
Yeah.
Talking about getting swole, getting swole, getting big. You been getting big? You been lifting? You even lift, bro?
Hey, now keep in mind, I've been in RC for quite a while, but I'm new to quadcopters and really relatively new to lipos in general. For electric planes, at least when I was into electric planes, they used NiCad batteries.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, like 7 C cells. So extremely heavy. They've completely changed. So I'm nowhere near an expert. I've just been in the RC since, well, junior high, basically, when I got my first RC car.
I had an RC car whenever I was real young.
Here's something interesting about
And then
RC.
destroyed it.
The guy that I shoot with, he actually had the world, well, I think it was world record. He had the world record for a while for the fastest RC car. And this was back like in the 90s, I think. It was a while back. I mean, his record was like 88 miles, or it was like 80-something miles. It was pretty fast for then, for that time period.
Was it a DeLorean?
That's what I was thinking when I said 88. I was like, oh, time machine. But I don't think it was exactly 88. It was somewhere in the upper 80s. I forget what he told me, but it pretty much right after he reached the record, after they clocked that speed, the thing got destroyed. Like it wrecked. Like it reached that max speed and just fell apart.
Yeah. Well,
like, completely.
I just want to put this out there at the start. If you want to get into quadcopters and you are not comfortable with soldering on small things, quadcopters may not be for you. So practice, because you will most likely have to solder onto the the main board for the quadcopter at some time. Basically, any electronic RC, you got to do that, and having the right setup there is a
unless you don't wreck, unless it lasts forever.
Yeah, quads do not last forever. As I said, I've got experience in the RC. I started with cars, moved to planes because, well, cars are boring, and then planes got boring, and then I moved on to helicopters, which are still a lot of fun. I can not handle 3D helicopters at all. I'll just put that right out there. And quads, I find, is like the perfect thing for me to fly right now, because you can be acrobatic with a lot of them, and they're just a lot of fun to fly, and especially if you get one with the 6-axis gyros. They're stable too, which help out. You can always go advanced. But the one question I was asked by Artisan Tony, who is no longer around, must have gone to bed, but recommended quad for a beginner. And that's a difficult question, because there are a ton of quads out there. You could do a lot of research thinking about what's the best one, but I'm going to recommend, just my personal opinion anyway, I'd recommend the Hubsan, the 107 series, the Hubsan X4 107, whether you get it with a camera or just the regular version. Because they're inexpensive. You can find out if you like them or not. You can learn to fly them, learn orientation, before you start delving into, $500, $700, $1,500 quads. And I'm serious, you can get up there, and they don't do a whole lot besides it's a lot bigger.
Right. And see, I like quads, but I don't think I'd ever see myself spending more than like what a decent, high quality gun would cost someone.
A high quality gun?
Yeah, like $1,000 or more.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, I actually looked at quads when I was getting into helicopters back 2010, 2011. And quads back then, you could not even get into anything halfway decent for less than $100. And they were a little bit larger, and they were really just crap. They were just basically like flying, 4 helicopters at the same time almost.
Right.
There was not a whole lot in the way of advancement.
I'm back! Woo!
Didn't even notice you were gone.
But yeah, the way the industry is going right now with LiPo batteries, which are basically the main source of juice for a lot of the the RC stuff right now, and engine, the motors, it's just coming leaps and bounds. In the last really 2 years, they've just gone really crazy. The smallest quad in production right now, it's a Chisun CX10. It's a little bit smaller than the ST's Proto X or the Hubsan Q4, not the X4, the Q4. And they're, you look at them, they're just, they're like 1.7, 1.8 inches, and they're teeny tiny.
And that's motor diagonal, correct?
Motor are not diagonal, horizontal or vertical, whatever you want to say. Side to side, the spacing between each motor, yeah, not a diagonal.
Okay.
I was mistaken on that one. We talked about that earlier. So it's 1.8 inches square.
Which is still small
Tiny.
as hell.
Yes. The 1.8 inches will fit. You could fit 2 of those on a typical business card.
Yeah, I saw you do that.
Just to give you an idea. And I would not recommend those little teeny tiny quads for beginners at all because they come with a teeny tiny radio control. Although it's cool, you put it into an adult's hands and it's ridiculous. It'd be like, Shaq trying to get into a Toyota Yaris. It's just not meant for beginners and people with larger hands. These small quads, these are little teeny tiny nano quads.
The Hubsan's like a pretty good medium. It's tiny, but it's not extremely small.
Hubsan's about the same size as the PlayStation 2 controller. The PlayStation.
Well, that's that which will fit into an adult's hands very easily.
I mean, right here, it's.
Oh, you're talking about the actual controller itself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, with the controllers,
And
controllers make a big difference.
And Hubsan's,
That's kind of funny that
about palm.
that's kind of funny that the smaller quads have smaller controllers. That shouldn't really matter. I mean, but I guess it makes it easier to manufacture. I don't know.
This remote will work on multiple different quads. So if you want to do that, get a bigger remote and get a different quad.
Right, that's true.
Now, I will say, you said something very interesting there. The Hubsan remote that you just held up works on the Hubsan protocol. There's different protocols for the 2.4 gigahertz range. And that will work on the ST's Proto X. And that's what I use to fly my ST's Proto X. I would not even attempt, well, I did attempt to fly it with the stock controller, and it was horrible. It was
and the Proto X, you could have safe mode or beginner mode, and then you could do advanced and tricks and all that stuff, just like the Hubsan, but just
right. But that again goes to the radio because the radio for the Hubsan allows the advanced features. It does not allow it on the ST's Proto X, which is the downfall of the ST's there. It was a way that Habaco, who is the manufacturer of ST's, Revell, you probably heard of those two names. So Habaco is actually the one that owns them, and they nerfed it because you can get the exact same quadcopter, the exact same, which is the Hubsan Q4. It's the exact same quadcopter as the ST's, except that its remote is not nerfed like it does with the ST's. But then again, you're talking about a teeny tiny little remote. It's useless.
And the remote that I've seen with it is like, I have nothing to.
I would actually have to go and grab mine real quick.
I mean, probably.
Pardon any noise you hear, because
I don't know.
I'll try to do this.
It's freaking itty bitty.
Yeah, and pardon all that noise. I wish somebody would have muted me, but they didn't. Let's see.
Hey, mutual sales.
Yes, I know I could have mute myself. I expected Ballistic too.
I was busy. Sorry.
No problem. Just waiting for my camera to come on. Just give you an idea how tiny this is.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is upside down. So
Put that next to the Hubsan.
give you an idea for the Hubsan and the one that comes with it.
Oh my gosh, it's a quarter of the size. Well, a little more.
I was actually thinking of the Hubsan Quad.
Oh, the quad?
Yeah.
Okay, dopey. You're lucky I have this stuff right next to me, just all in cases, but next to me. Because then I'd have to get up and turn the camera off and put pants on and then come back.
And take them off.
Yeah,
so
it's
quite a bit. It's smaller than the Hubsan.
it's about just a little bit longer than the length of the body of the Hubsan.
You cut your blade guard.
Yes, I actually have a video of that coming out. Or already came out. But yeah, this is, it's like trying to control it. It's like, it's you just can't precisely control it with how strong the springs are and with that. But that's a different story. But if you got a Hubsan, 107 already, you got a remote that will control little SDs. And the SD is a lot of fun. I love it inside, but I definitely would not recommend it. Just so anybody wants to see what a little SD is really badly painted by me, because I've got another one on the way. Just to give you an idea of the size.
No, did that one break?
New. I have a defective USB power cord for it to charge it up.
Is that the one that
power
Is that the
cord?
one they had? Is that the one they caught? You had to. They sent you like something like 3 times. Like camera was messed up, or
No, not on this. That's a different thing. Well, with this, yeah, I called them Friday because I wasn't really worried about it, but I'm like, I'll see if I can get them to send me one just in case I need to use it for something. And they decided to send me a whole new quad free of charge. So.
Well, it's probably cheaper for them to send the quad than the.
Yeah, they don't have the charging cable separately, so.
Yeah, these quads don't cost hardly anything to make.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm thinking altogether maybe $5.
Yeah, and the reason I painted this because I'm getting another white one is just so I could tell them apart. So I just cheaply painted this one with red racing stripes because it is fast and a lot of fun. But I will say the first time I flew this one, and I'm used to flying. I'll grab it. There it is. I'm used to flying this one inside quite a bit. This is a Blade Nano QX. And this is not really a Nano. This is a mini quadcopter.
Looks
or
almost
micro
exactly.
quadcopter.
Looks almost exactly like the Hubsan. Probably too because you have the Hubsan blades on there.
No, this isn't a Hubsan. Doesn't
No,
have
so-
Hubsan blades. It's got proprietary blades.
Really, it looks exactly like the Hubsan, except the
No,
body
trust
style.
me, it's
legs.
completely different.
The legs are a little bit different, yeah, but like the position of everything looks pretty similar.
Well, it's a quadcopter. They all have very similar positions.
I mean, in size, I guess the size is very similar in size.
In size, I'll show you the difference in size.
All right.
But you can get an idea of this size. I could actually lift this quad up with this quad. Not very far off the ground, but I can. This is only like 11 grams.
You should tape it to the big quad.
No, you need to have a lift cable.
Yes. That'd be so
So
awesome.
so this one's up in the air, and then it picks the other one up. That'd be cool. Yeah, about not too much bigger.
This one's just a tad bit bigger, just the way it's designed.
Yeah.
But they're about the same size.
The Hubsan blades look bigger, longer.
Hubsan blades are bigger because it has to lift more mass. This thing weighs a lot more. I took out, I lightened the load by 5 grams by cutting the blade guard and taking the camera off. Trust me, this thing's a race car now.
How'd you cut the blade guard? Let me see that.
You'll see a video on it. I've got it coming out, so you can.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that. Oh,
I will say it's a little bit tricky. You got to readjust them and everything after a crash, so you know.
Let me say something about the blade guards though for the Hubsans. They make 2 different ones for the H107Cs or whatever.
No, they make 2 different ones. Well,
That's
3 different
what
ones, actually.
Ballistic just said.
Yeah, they sent me. Well, I ordered one a long time ago when I bought my quadcopter because I didn't know it came with one in the copter package, so I just went ahead and bought one. And I thought that'd be my only one. So then I used the one that came with the quadcopter for a long time. I never even opened the other one. And then just a few weeks ago, I opened the other one and tried to use it because the other one was getting busted up, and it wouldn't fit. It was the part that slides on over the motor was too small, I believe. Yeah.
Correct.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, well, too
they're-
late now. I bought it like 8 months ago.
Yeah, and what the motors are called, a lot of people refer to them on forums as cans.
CAMS? Cams?
Cans. C-A-N-S. Yeah, can. Because they look like a can.
Yeah, they do.
Little mini can. The difference is the 107L has a different motor in it than the 107C. And it's a 7mm motor compared to an 8.5mm motor. So, of course, the blade guards are different. And we're all talking about the Hubsan because it is a great product. Hubsan makes awesome entry-level hobby-grade quadcopters.
Yeah, I took this outside the other day and it fucked the air a little bit, and then I brought it inside.
Yeah. It will fight the wind, but not as well as, say, that Nano. Because there's a difference, too. Yeah. Weight. Weight is the thing. Weight is always the key here. You would think a little quadcopter that weighs basically a third of what that Hubsan weighs, being the same size, would not be able to fight the wind at all. It would just be blown away. It'll actually handle 20-mile-an-hour winds. That Blade Nano will handle 20-mile-an-hour wind gust. You're fighting at full throttle. It's not losing any ground. So it does work. And something else, but yeah. The Hubsan, kind of got a little off topic, but the Hubsan, going back, why I recommend it as a beginner quad, one, you can get one with a camera, you get the HD version as well, and the HD version's around $70, the standard version's around $50. Or you can get the regular 107L series, which is about $35-40.
Little smaller motors.
Yeah, with the smaller
I mean,
motors. But parts are readily available, and you will need parts.
And this one, I almost wish I didn't got it without the camera.
Well, I'm going to say you're handy with soldering there, Foos.
I have a gun, but I don't know.
Okay, well,
You wish you would have got the one without the camera, you said?
Yeah.
I'm going to say I took my camera out of mine, and it's really easy to do. But if you don't even want to do that, just take it apart. There's 2 screws in the bottom. Take that off. Just take wire snippers and clip the 2 cords that run for the camera board, which is above the battery tray. Remove the battery tray and take the camera out.
Make sure you clip the right cords. The
There's
red
only
one?
two.
No, wait, the yellow one. No, wait.
Red and black, so you can
I don't
do
know which one to clip. I don't know which one.
that.
Yeah, see, I bought it specifically for the camera function, so that's kind of a big reason for me buying it. So that's why I bought it. But yeah, definitely, I recommend if you're just doing stuff on the fly. Yeah, there's no point in getting the one with the camera, and it's just added weight.
Although it's a blast to fly and film, see what you're filming.
It is. It's pretty neat. You get a pretty cool view going up in the pie.
Yeah.
You guys saw my video, right?
Say-
Saw my video this past winter, right, where it snowed.
Yeah.
And I was like way above the tree line. It was pretty awesome. And that wasn't even as high as it could go. That was just as far as I could go without being scared of it blowing into the trees.
Yeah, with the Hubsans, they're really cool, inexpensive.
On a more sunny day, I'm gonna try to go outside. I'm gonna try to fly it really high out in the field, so I know if it falls, it'll at least be somewhat. I'll be able to find it.
All right, I'm taking mine apart.
Well, fast.
Yeah, there'll be 6 total screws. Do not lose them. They are tiny.
Yeah.
We have a live.
Is it magnetized? Is that a magnetized tip?
Yes.
Okay,
It's-
I was gonna
it's
say,
for my iPhone.
magnetized tip.
Let's see.
Yeah, I've taken mine apart.
We have a live
Only 8.
quadcopter
So,
surgery going on.
live quadcopter surgery.
So,
And
I need to pull all the. Okay, I need to pull all these pieces off. There we go.
Yeah, you gotta snap the Yeah, I went through that whole step to remove my camera. I actually got a video on it on my channel, Mr. Quarks 21. So you'll
You
see. I
filmed-
have to see one of these videos because I filmed like I think 3 or 4 in one day, and then it's kind of spaced them apart. I should say not filmed them, edited them in 3 or in one day. I had a whole bunch filmed.
Those
All I
little,
really have to do is just. No, I'm probably not going to clip them. I'll probably heat those up. Those two
Yeah.
right here up.
My
Where's the
camera
camera at?
video comes
Camera in the
out.
body?
Yeah.
Cameras in the body.
let me see what the camera looks like from the inside.
Well, my video
Well,
comes out
that
tomorrow
was-
at noonish. Just so you know. The camera is on the battery side, the bottom, not the top.
Mm-hmm.
If I do just cut these real close, it doesn't matter. Because if I want to solder them on, I can always solder them on again.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to go grab a knife.
I actually, well, no, that killed it. The surgery killed it.
The what did?
But there are a lot of different companies out there, and yeah, the reason I say there are really 2 grades. There are actually more than 2 grades, but most people looking into getting a quad are going to either look at the hobby grade or the toy grade. And Hubsan has really blurred the line between the two. It's really considered a toy, but it is also a hobby grade because it is repairable. It would be moved up a tad in my book if it had the ability to just plug and play motors. By that I mean you just take and you can just pull the cable out from a little connector and be able to plug it right back in without having to solder.
There, it's going.
Yep. Now there's 4 screws on that you got to remove, and the camera will just come out. And there's nothing holding the camera board on. Yeah.
These screws are different.
Mine were the same.
No, they're slightly different.
Actually, mine were exactly the same. Trust me on that. I looked at them closely.
Okay, some are different, some are not.
I think it's because they're so small.
No, some are blunt tips, some are looks like self-tapping.
Yeah. The difference really between a hobby grade and
Okay.
a toy grade is one is the availability of parts and the ability to be able to fix it.
Okay,
Because
Core,
with hobby, like anything, well, okay, what?
I undid those screws, and it's still not wanting to come apart.
There's 4 of them. You get all 4?
Yes.
Let me see it. Let me lock in on you.
Is it supposed to lift up?
It should just slide right out. Give me a second. I'll show you how it works. I have all my quad stuff right next to me. So don't go and break it. Just be careful. You grab the body. I keep everything in a little like tackle box. Like a Plano style tackle box.
Yeah. Man, this doesn't work very well with fat hands.
I need to get me a little tackle box like that for my gun parts for matches, so I can. That's like just for any use. Those little like lure boxes. They're just little plastic boxes that they come with dividers, and you can set how far
Okay.
apart you want them.
See,
Yeah, I
you
got it
out?
apart.
Yeah, it should just pull right off. You
There's
might have
the
been
camera.
squeezing too hard on the body, which will keep it in there, because if I squeeze, that thing's not
No.
coming out of there very easily.
What it was, I didn't realize that there's a little latch back here.
Oh, you missed that too. Okay.
Yeah. So theoretically, we could put a bigger battery in here.
Yes, you can.
Theoretically, yes, you could. Only problem
Yeah, that's-
is
That's some weight. I never realized how
3.1
much it
grams. On a quadcopter, I'm not sure the weight of the quadcopter before I removed it and everything, but yeah, you take and remove 3 grams from a quadcopter that probably weighs under I would say that weighed under 3 ounces, didn't it?
What, the quad?
Yeah,
No, the quad's more than 3 ounces.
it might be.
Yeah, I
But,
think an ounce is about the weight of a paper clip.
no, paper clips are not. So 11.5 is roughly half an ounce.
Never mind.
A paperclip weighing an ounce means it don't take 16 to make a pound, and that's no.
Yeah.
Sorry, a paper clip is a gram.
And how many grams are in an ounce?
No fucking clue.
24-ish, I think, or 25, in that range.
All right, that's off.
All right, but we're talking right now the Hubsan, but I want to talk about one company I'm very familiar with here in the hobby grade, and that is the Blade. They're also not Hobbytown. Although Hobbytown does carry them now. Drawing a complete blank. I hate when that happens.
Happens frequently, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I'm getting way too. Horizon Hobby. That's why I couldn't remember. I was going with Hobby first. They're made by Horizon Hobby, which is, if you don't know where the mecca of RCs, airplanes, cars, basically anything RC, the mecca is Champaign, Illinois. That is the mecca. That's where almost all the big companies are located. So it's kind of awesome for me since I like dealing with companies that are close to me. But they have a great line of hobby grade stuff, and they've got outstanding customer service. And this is where I want to. I've been using their RC stuff now since 2011 for my helicopters. I was thinking about getting back into flying planes at the time, so I just went ahead and looking around where I could get a flight sim that wouldn't cost an arm and a leg, without having to buy a remote control or radio control, and everything you had to buy a radio control for, except for the one from Horizon Hobbies. And they actually packaged theirs with their entry level computerized RX. In other words, you can program up to 10 different craft in there at a time.
A buddy of mine got into that, and he had some higher end gas aircraft, mostly planes, and he had them all running off one controller. And then he got a sim, and he actually his controller actually had Bluetooth capability, and he Bluetoothed it to his computer, and he was running using his normal remote or normal that's radio through his computer, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, so I ended up getting that for roughly at the time it was just a little over $200, which is a steal. The radio back then was almost $200, so I was getting basically the programming for almost free. So I started flying around, RC planes again, and I'm like, this is boring. It really is. So I started flying their little RC helicopters, and I'm like, oh, this is fun and quite challenging. So that's what I ended up buying. Before I went too far deep into it, I got myself a little SEMA S107. And then that's this little coaxial, and then I went into okay, this is a nice toy grade, but I didn't want to wait an hour between flights for it to charge back up, so I got myself a Blade MCX2, and then an MSR, and then a little Tandem Rescue, and it was kind of like a little thing, and then I want to see if I want to get into quads, and that's how I ended up getting the Hubsan, thanks to Caleb talking and chat, and me watching actually. Before I even mentioned it, I was watching Tested on YouTube. Tested is a channel, and they also recommended the Hubsan. So I got into it that way. That's how quads have now. I own two blade versions of
Pretty
their
much-
quads.
Pretty much just dived. You just pretty much dived head in first, and went crazy.
I missed it. Yeah. Oh, I went in.
Yeah, but basically he took his gun hobby and transformed it into a quad hobby. All of his quad money.
Actually, I'm not that much into it in quads.
I can definitely tell a difference.
It's faster to respond.
Turn your lights off. You're wasting battery.
Actually, I did a test on that, and so did a whole bunch of people on the forums about how much juice you're actually losing in flight times by turning the LEDs off. You know, the LEDs draw so little power. You're saving about, on average on a flight, you're saving less than a second of time.
Really?
Yes.
Well, LEDs are made to have really low power.
Yep.
I know that. Lost. Leave mine on there.
Yeah, no need to turn them off. You actually waste more power turning them on and off than you do running them.
Yeah, I can definitely tell the acceleration without that camera. With the acceleration straight up. And I'm in expert mode, so.
Yeah, unless I go in the basement, my house is too small for expert mode. Well, there's too much stuff. There's too much stuff in the basement, really, too.
Oh, and I wish I had a basement, but I just have too much stuff, period. I don't care, I still fly it. And I pick up papers and all the other crap.
So now there's one thing that you should know about quads, and I'm getting into this hobby, and I kind of want to talk about this because we talk about quads a lot in the lobby chat, but people seem not to know the danger of the lithium polymer batteries, the LiPo batteries. Even these little one-cell, which basically these mini and micro quads use are one-cells, even those one-cell batteries can cause a house fire. And if you don't believe me, go look up LiPo-Fire. Just LiPo-Fire on YouTube. And you'll see videos of bigger cell packs bursting into flame. And it's not like you can just grab a fire extinguisher and put them out easily.
Because it's a chemical fire.
It is a chemical fire, exactly. It actually creates its own oxygen.
You gotta choke it. That's what I'm saying. You gotta smother it.
You gotta smother it and...
Put a towel on it. And step on it or something like
nope,
that.
not even a towel. You need to smother it, and that's with...
Flour?
Flour will start on fire, you silly.
Flour. I meant sand. You know what I meant. Yeah. Yeah, grease. Grease.
Yeah, we'll just dump some sawdust on it.
Now take care of it right away. Woof.
Hey guys, do you think this gas will put out that fire?
You know what's bad? Someone has probably said that before.
So never, ever, ever charge your LiPo batteries unattended.
I've already done that, and I was worried as hell. I totally forgot it, and a friend of mine and I went out, and it was charging only for maybe 30 minutes whenever I wasn't here, but I was worried as hell.
Yeah, I've always had someone around to unplug it if I'm not gonna be able to unplug it.
No, never unattended. Do you hear this?
That's what I'm saying. Someone will always be in the same room or in the same house.
Yeah. Same, not even the same house, same room.
Yeah, I usually charge them in my room right here anyways now, so I'm always in here.
And for storage, those 50 cal ammo boxes are awesome to store the batteries in.
Oh my gosh.
We're gun guys as well. We better have a spare 50 cal.
I need to pick some of those up, but they're like some of the freaking surplus stores want outrageous amounts for them.
Then get yourself a little, what is it, the 30?
How much are they? How much should you pay for a 50 cal ammo can like that?
I've paid anywhere from 10 to 13. There was this one. They're not 50 cal ammo cans, but they were fuse cans for, I guess, 105 millimeters or something like that. And this one guy, he had warehouses full, and he came down, and he sold 648 of them in like an hour and a half.
Holy
At
crap!
Walmart, and they were $6 a piece.
Oh, that's
normally,
awesome.
Normally they're $5, but he's like, for me to, drive down there because he's like an hour and a half away. He charged $6 a piece.
How did he fit them all in his? What did he pull in a trailer?
He had a flatbed.
I would say, yeah, $6 each, or
How did he? I wonder how did he secure them? Just like put a tarp over all of them?
Ratchet straps.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did that
He
wrong.
had saran wrap and ratchet straps.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's supposed to be $6 each.
Yeah.
Or
what
5
size?
for 30.
What size were they?
They were a little taller, the same dimension, like width and depth as a 50 cal, but 2 inches taller.
What round was it for?
It was for fuses.
Oh, fuses. Like
Yeah.
to detonate stuff.
Yeah, FUSE, not FUSS.
Cool. Yeah, but can
And
you
by
imagine?
the way you market them is, $6 each, or 5 for 5 for 30. So
People aren't
No,
that stupid, Gord.
No,
yes, they are.
Not everyone.
Yeah, I picked up 10. And
Yeah.
I'm using 3 for 7.6239. I have like 1,400 rounds in one of them.
Yeah, I need to pick some up. But can you imagine how one of those things full of lipo batteries?
You don't keep it stocked full. I mean,
Yeah.
you still need lead and bullets, but
Could you imagine if you did like a freaking like?
yeah. You could also use like a metal toolbox, etc. But the 50 cal, because they're airtight. You got to remember, lipos will still create their own oxygen,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a lot better because it's a nice thick metal container and it's not really meant to melt. Will contain the fire.
Yeah.
Now, charging them, as I said, never do it unattended. And if you are going to do it unattended, there are a couple ways you can do it. In other words, I still wouldn't leave the house, but say you're doing it out in your garage, you want to go inside and make yourself lunch or something like that, is to build your own little bunker by using, like cement board and the narrow cinder blocks.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but
Better than having your house burned down because of a
Yeah.
RC battery.
yeah, but on the inside of that, you actually put a smoke detector.
Yeah, that's cool. Good idea. So as soon as it ignites, it'll go off right away.
And now if you're going to get into more than one quad and you don't want to sit there and charge them, one at a time, using a USB port, 10.
Mm-hmm.
You can get yourself, and they're inexpensive, is get yourself a quality programmable charger. And I'm going to talk about the one I have, which is the Sky RC IMAX B6. There are tons and tons of clones and copies of this on the market, so you got to make sure you get the original one. But it's programmable. It lets you charge anywhere from 1-cell batteries up to 6-cell batteries, and the difference is basically like having a 1 AA flashlight or having a 6 AA flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically you gotta look at it the same way, but being able to have a programmable one where you can charge your batteries. You can quick charge your batteries if you're at the field, because a lot of these will run off of DC. You can put them into storage mode, which say, oh, summer's here, I'm going to do a lot more shooting, so I'm not going to be flying my inside quad a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
You can put your battery into an optimum storage level.
Right.
Because you
don't leave them empty.
You don't leave them empty, and you don't leave them full. You leave them at the halfway point. Lipos are designed to not fare well when low charge or a high charge in them. If you're going to leave them charged for a couple days at full, that's fine, but you don't want to leave it more than a couple days. I prefer less than 24 hours, even though I charged my batteries last night. Now it's tending to fly today because it's beautiful, but way too windy.
Damn, I'm going to have to use mine because some of mine have been charged for like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, use them.
Okay.
And now with the Hubsan, I will say that if you land it right away when they're flashing, you're going to be pretty close. You're going to be just a little bit underneath that optimum charge rate for storage. But you don't have to worry about that. Say you don't want to fly for a few days, but throw them in the refrigerator. It slows down their discharge. And again, your refrigerator's airtight.
It's a great idea putting a possible chemical fire hazard in your refrigerator. Which, I mean, I guess it wouldn't catch on fire in there, but it's kind of funny thinking about it.
When you're gonna have the greatest chance of having a fire is when you're charging them, or you've been in an accident with your quad, or your airplane, or whatever. When they're kept at storage levels, are fairly safe. They can balloon up by balloon batteries. That's a different method. No, balloon batteries are bad. So definitely get yourself a quality charger. And this little IMAX B6, you can find them. Depends where you have to look at it plus the shipping costs. But you're gonna find them anywhere from like $25 to $35 for a genuine one. And then, depending on your batteries and how many you have, you might need yourself either parallel charging cords or parallel charging boards. They're actually circuit boards that have the connectors right into them. And that's what I use, and I'll actually show you the one that I use for my STs and my blade products.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not all my blade products, but my mini blades, or my micro blades, I should say. Get my camera back on. That's all it is. It's got banana clips here on this end. And this will charge up to 6 of the micro Pica, I believe they're called, on this side. And I'll charge those up. Hubsan, you need a different board.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't even think they make boards. I think they just make the cables.
He said banana clips. Oh no.
Yeah, well, that's what they
I
are.
know. I'm just saying, because like when people talk about guns, people are like,
I know.
"That's a magazine."
I know. Oh, and since I actually have my charger next to me, and you will need a AC if you want to, you run this off this plug-in. I mean, this is the charger I use, and Caleb hates when it goes beep.
Oh, the thing is so loud.
It's actually not that loud, at least not in person. The mic picks it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I gotta find because I got a freaking, There we go. I had to find the plug. Now I gotta find the little power strip. Oh no. Let's see if I can show you. Where is that? LEDs is too bright. Probably just too bright, but it's got different modes you can go into. You got LiPo charge, LiPo balance. LiPo balance is for 2 to 6 cells. Fast charge, storage, discharge. I forgot about the discharge.
These things have some ups. I've just been holding it and running the batteries down, and man, I got some ups.
Oh, hell yeah. They spin pretty fast. I think unloaded, a lot of them are, what is, I was just actually reading about the STs, because it's such a tiny little quadcopter. Those things not under load are spinning 70,000 RPM. Think about that. That is damn.
Did you say 70,000?
70,000.
That's how fast the Hubsan is?
Hubsan's actually slower.
Oh.
Because it's such a small quad and spinning such small blades, it needs more RPM to fly.
Uh-oh. What happened?
No, like, every time I'd kick it on a little bit, I can see the props lift up a little bit.
Well, yeah, that's because the shaft that's actually in the motor
is free rotate. Yeah.
And yes, that is very loud.
We can hear wind noise off that, and your mic is behind your head.
Yeah, and
No, it's in front of me. It's on my camera.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, this one, it's not plugged in.
I want to
Yeah,
talk a little bit
because-
more about.
Because my computer is way the hell over there, and I didn't feel like getting more male to female cords to work with mic.
That angle is not very flattering for you, Foos.
Which angle?
The one you there. Because he started to look a little bit like Chris Farley.
Hey,
Oh, fuck that.
a funny guy. Wait, what?
I would take his money. That's about it.
He was funny.
And maybe his cocaine habit.
Well,
I want to talk.
I mean, the money spent on his cocaine habit.
sure. Uh-huh.
Okay, Grant. Fridges are not airtight, but they are very air restrictive. You will see. Okay, if they weren't, restrictive, you wouldn't suffocate if you locked yourself in one.
Well, how would you know, Court? Have you locked yourself inside a refrigerator?
No, and didn't you know to
Yeah, I know.
you gotta have like the doors removed if you're gonna have them outside, etc.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay, something that's kind of cool. I'm just going to be giving it full throttle, and then I'm going to sit there and just rotate the copter, and I could turn a motor off just by rotating it.
That is correct because of the gyros.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to watch.
I haven't done that yet. I'm going to sit there and it'll spin circles. So, it'll spin circles, right? In one spot. Crap.
No, because what he's doing is he's showing the stabilization system of a lot of the entry-level quads. They have the ability. You see how that back one isn't turning
Oh, yeah.
because of the angle. It's how it stabilizes itself.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
And you can actually take, throw, like example, throw a Hubsan, throw a Blade, Nano, etc., into the air, and just hit the throttle on auto level if you're in, beginner mode. For the blades, anyway. I call it the beginner mode, the stabilization mode.
Yeah, expert mode won't do that, correct?
No, this is expert mode.
Yeah, in expert mode it will on the Hubsan, but not on the Blade.
Ah. That's another reason why the Hubsan is awesome.
Well, that's another reason why the Hubsan is great for beginners.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, one other thing I want to talk about for beginners, anyway, is throttle discipline. By that, if you are to crash, or you are, if you just crash, or you know you're going to crash, put the throttle full down. Because you will burn the motor out if you keep the throttle up.
Yeah, it'll get hung up or something and keep...
Yeah. What it does is actually it causes a burn mark on the I believe it's a bushing. I'm not 100% sure. The terms inside the motors. It'll cause a burn spot and will actually destroy the motor. They're only designed, to be under full throttle for a very, very short amount of time. The current will actually burn the spots too. So you keep this on full throttle, holding it down, you can burn your motors out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Now you tell me. I just went 2 batteries full throttle.
You can always get more. Hubsan's repairable.
I know,
And
but
cheap. Yeah. You have to let the motors cool down. Otherwise, it's called burning. And also, you don't want the props pushed all the way down against the casing either, because that'll cause friction and wear out your motors faster. But something I've been looking into, and I'm sure that a lot of people out there are interested in FPV. And again, I'm a newbie at this as well. There are just a couple different versions that I can there are 3 versions, and that I have been researching. One is Wi-Fi, which sounds really cool because you can use your smartphone or your laptop and use that as your screen to see what you're doing. Bad part is a lot of interference and limited range. But normally cost is less on that type of system. And then you have basically the 2.4 gigahertz, but there's so much interference that not a whole lot of people do it, and that's what most radios run off of, and that's the last thing you want is having interference between your radio and your quadcopter and have it go sailing away from you into heaven. And the one that a lot of people are using, and I'm going to be getting when I get a chance, is the 5.8 gigahertz band. And I've actually been researching it to put on my Blade 180Q, or 180QX, yeah, 180QX HD. I get the numbers right. Because it'll actually carry the payload without a problem. Again, it's a mini quad, it's not a big size. So I think keep weight restrictions down. But it's awesome. Only problem is it's more expensive. And I don't know a whole lot about it yet. I've been researching it, and it's very confusing. A lot of terminology I don't get. I looked at making my own system, and it's like, well, you need this camera module. You're actually talking about the camera module from like inside a camera, not like a whole, GoPro setup.
Right.
You have to take the lens and the little ribbon cable, and it plugs into a little. That's a whole camera module. You plug it into this board, and you have to, you have to do the transmitter part out. It gets really, really confusing. But there's thankfully a lot of people make ready-to-go systems, so you have to pay a little bit more for the ready-to-go systems. But it's really, really awesome. And the nice thing about the 5.8 is very little interference and longer range.
Yeah, talking about the ready-to-go systems for first-person view, right?
Yes.
The DJI, it's pretty decent priced, and it's, as far as I understand, it doesn't include camera, right? But GoPro, you can fly it first person through a GoPro.
I'm not 100% sure how that works through a GoPro.
The DJI.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you can go through a GoPro with that DJI, and I think you could get a DJI for under $1,000. I know that with the ready to go from package and everything like that.
I'm just not sure if that includes a camera or not.
Yeah, right around the 1,000 mark includes a camera. Right around the I think 600 or 700 mark is camera ready, and then like a 300 or 400 mark for it without a camera or anything.
Yeah. Now the DJI is the Phantom, is what you're talking about.
Yes. That's
which is really, really cool. But expensive for me. I can't see myself spending more than what I spend on a gun.
And the batteries on them, I heard, are, especially on the new one, are really expensive. Like over $100 for the battery.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's what happens when you start getting into the bigger quads. Everything costs more. From parts to repair it if you crash, to batteries to run. You got to remember, batteries to run these quads, they've got a shelf life. They only got so many uses. Just like your remote control, batteries for your television only have a certain amount of time before they're used up.
Well, any rechargeable battery is only good for about 500 complete charges.
Right. Now, lithium battery, the LiPolys are a lot less than that. It all depends. They're only designed to last a certain amount of cycles, and the more care you take in cycling them and storing them, the longer the lifetime is. It's not bad when you're only paying, $3, $4, or $5 for a battery. It's not bad, but when you start spending, $50, $100 on one battery, that's going to give you 10 minutes of flight time and stop showing that picture.
That's my next girlfriend.
That's your next girlfriend.
Who?
He likes the bodybuilding women. flat-chested.
No, she's not flat at all.
Who is that? I can't even see.
No clue.
I can't see very well. Let me turn my bandwidth up. Look there. Hang on.
No,
Well,
I could. I'll save it. Hold on.
Just send it to me.
Okay.
We'll see how your taste is here in a second.
I haven't seen her face, but
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
That's
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more. There actually in the 5.8, there are multiple different brains that they basically just like radio controls for these quads. They operate on different protocols. The same thing with the transmitters for, Fat Shark is a popular brand. They run basically their own protocol, their own wavelength for 5.8 that are, it's not just plug and play with other stuff. So you got to make sure everything's compatible.
Mm-hmm.
But the little system I've been looking at, and it's just for the camera, the transmitter, and it's not recorded from the source, which is sad. But that's like $100, which isn't too bad. And then I have to get, the screen. Now I could go and get Fat Shark goggles. There we go. But they're damn expensive. They're like $300. And I wear glasses, and unless you've actually got adjustable focus, which Fat Sharks don't, there's another company that makes them. I can't remember off the top of my head. You can't really use them very well.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to get like go and I've heard of people modifying them by taking and getting the Fresnel lenses, magnifying lenses you get from for like reading a book that's small print, etc. For like $5 or $10 on Amazon, cutting them and then fitting them into the goggles. So I was actually looking into an HJ receiver that you'd clip onto your radio for the signal. And those aren't too bad. It's like $200 for a whole setup.
That's not bad.
No, and then you need the quad, of course.
That's just for the goggles. That's just for the goggles and everything.
No, that's just for the screen, basically, like the size of a large smartphone.
Which is what you attach to your face.
No, you attach that right to your radio, and you look at it while you're flying.
You're talking about getting one that's not it's first person, but it's not goggles.
Yeah, it's not goggles. Because I wear glasses. You wear glasses,
Wow,
correct?
like you said, yeah. I don't know though. I could do fine with goggles though. I can take my glasses off for that.
Well, I can. Yeah, might be possible for me to do it, but nobody's willing to let you test them out.
Well, I don't know though. If you would you need glasses for it because you're seeing it through a camera lens, not through, or
No, you still have to see the screen that's down by your hands. So
well, I'm saying I can't see far away, so it wouldn't matter for me. I could use first person goggles and I would see fine.
Correct.
I can
Same
It depends where the focal point is. That's where
on the camera, right?
yeah, you need like
No, the focal point will be fine because all you have to do is it'll be clear on the screen. All you have to do is
Right.
go to the screen.
Screen. That's what I was thinking. All you gotta do is see the screen
Yes.
because it's broadcasting from the camera to the screen.
Okay, Caleb, take your glasses off and then try getting your face just a few inches from a television.
Okay, I'll do it. I don't have a TV, but I have a computer screen. I can read everything fine.
It might work for you.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
that's basically you got to be able to focus on that.
I'm nearsighted. I can't see far away.
Same here. I'm nearsighted too, but they work. I was told they don't work well for people that wear glasses. And
All right, so you guys get to see me without glasses for a second, actually. But so like if I'm this close,
print screen, print screen, print screen, print screen.
right here, I can't see anything on the screen. Like it's blurry. Like right here.
Um.
So I have to put glasses on right here. But like when I'm right here, I can see everything fine.
I'm like a forearm's length away from the television before I can see any. Before I can read it.
Yeah, but the goggles are like right there, so it'd be fine.
But they're set at a different focal point. It's kind of like looking through a scope.
I gotcha. It'd be like looking through a different pair of glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you can get them set up for you, like what you need.
I'm hoping. I have not done a whole lot of research on this, but it's definitely something I want to get into. And I don't know about you guys. If you could get into it like for under $200, and then you have to buy the quad, I think that's a fairly decent price. Now I know, I've researched the Blade with the Fat Shark system. It actually comes with the goggles, the little Blade Nano QX quadcopter that's set up for first-person view, and it's basically a whole setup, and it's minus the remote. You still need a remote control.
Mm-hmm.
And it may come with a little ready-to-fly, but I hate ready-to-fly remotes from Blade. I always have. They're right around the $400 mark, and the goggles are basically the main cost of that, because I looked at the goggle prices and they're like $350.
No way.
Yeah, I mean,
but if you got the quad and the camera and everything else, that's a decent price.
like whenever I started getting into quads before I actually got it and started flying around, I was like, oh, it'd be awesome. I have Phantom, I have this, and then now I'm flying around. I'm like, nah, I'm good with just a small one. I mean, it'd be cool if.
That's the way it was for me too. Like I got my Hubs and I was like, yeah, this is all I ever really want much. Like I agree. It would be fun to have a first-person thing, but it's just not something I'm extremely interested in.
Same here. I mean, if you're into photographic or or weddings, or if you're a big hiker and you wanted to get different views,
oh, that'd be awesome.
Definitely. But
or if you just want to fly through the trees as fast as you can.
Yeah, I will say if you're in an area where people race them, that is really cool.
That would be cool.
Doing the first person.
Just imagine this: if you get everybody's permission, and you're at a frickin' shoot, and you had first-person view, you could sit there and hover behind them as they're shooting from stage to stage and filming basically what they're seeing.
That's what I wanted to do.
Not only that, but you can, go down range a little bit.
Yep.
Not directly down range, because I don't want
You don't want people shooting your quadcopter up or distracting them.
Well, not only that, but ricochets and stuff like that. You never know where they're going to go. But,
I don't know how mad the pros would be if I took my quadcopter to the state match this year and was flying down range while they were shooting.
Well, you got to get everybody's permission, and there's one law that you got to remember here is you're not supposed to fly that over anybody.
Oh, like if something happens, it falls on them.
Yeah, it's a safety concern. And
liability.
It could cut them up.
Yeah. There, I want to say
people fly helicopters over our heads all the time. And planes.
For some reason, I'm used to the little toy quads. I call them toy, but the nano size and the micro size. And I'm starting to get into the mini size because they go by ranges, and a lot of times they're called, well, you got a 250 size or a 400 or 450 size, and that's basically the length of the unit. The bigger the quad gets, the more dangerous it is, but every quad is dangerous. Doesn't matter in the size. I was flying my little Estes around, the Proto X, and just flying it back and forth in my room next to my chair, just kind of doing back and forth and left and right on, just practicing orientation.
And you cut your.
One of the cats jumped up on the bed. I got two cats that aren't afraid of it. Jumped up on the bed. It hit her tail and went swinging into my face. It actually cut my nose.
Ooh.
Yeah, the prop actually sliced through my nose. Yeah, basically like a freaking paper cut.
So on those real small ones, you can't get prop guards?
They make them, but I wouldn't do it because they're so small to begin with.
Okay.
But even a quad that size, if it hits somebody in the eyeball, will slash a cornea. And yeah, exactly.
What
Head blade guards.
So I guess you don't want to fly that one outside because how small it is, unless it's like an extremely calm day.
Yeah, it doesn't. It'll handle up to 5-mile-an-hour winds, but beyond that, it won't.
It's like It's like a breeze. That's not even a wind.
Yeah, I tried it outside today when it was slightly calm, and it went floating away when it got too windy.
If you if you want to test it out, if you want to test out a quad in the wind, take it to the beach.
Pretty much. So keep that in mind. I wear glasses, so I'm a little bit more lackadaisical about safety than I should. Yeah, I should be a little more careful not fly that at eye level. But
Yeah.
I do all the time. I actually fly it right around my face all the time, the little ones, because I'm like, my glasses will save me, and one of these days it may not happen.
My glasses will save me. That cover like.
Yeah, I would not ever. Yeah, I will not ever fly a quad like that around somebody else. So I'm taking my own safety in my own hands.
You been watching the internal?
Give me a second. I'm actually looking for a picture.
Okay. But yeah, we'll see people now. We'll see people in welding hoods flying their copters. Yeah, I can imagine those little props would cut your fingers up pretty bad if you got a hold of one of them. Even the plastic ones.
Oh, I know. I grabbed mine, and my controller fell off and just kicked the throttle full, and that hurt.
That's one thing I've learned. I never pick up the quad when the controller with it on. Like I minimize the time as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been doing stupid stuff like this for a long time.
Quark, you look like some high school kid in that picture.
Yes, back when I didn't have any facial hair and was fatter.
Hey, check out my helicopter, yo.
That was from 2011. I've lost a lot of weight since 2011.
Yeah. But what was I saying about the blades hitting you? Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. What was I talking about, Fuse?
I don't know.
You weren't listening.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, well, I'm going to end this. We've gone for an hour, and I think it's going to push it. And I want to reiterate one thing, and we just talked about is safety, and two is LiPo safety, because last thing you want to do is find out when, oh, I got to go take the garbage down, or I got to go check the mail with your LiPos, and you come back into your house, and all of a sudden your house is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Not good. So
throw beer on it. They'll put it out.
Throw a little moonshine on it. It'll go right up.
That's what I was saying about safety. I remember now is that whenever I pick up the quad when it's on, like I always set the controller like on a flat surface somewhere secure where I know it won't like fall or something or anything like that.
Because that is the only one that is not spring loaded. That one's spring loaded left, right, up, down. Spring loaded left and right, but throttle.
The throttle's not spring loaded yet. You can this throttling, but it sucks because that means that as soon as you turn it on, it'll be at half throttle. So you have to hold that right one down constantly.
That is true. If you want to.
Actually, it won't even take off because a lot of the remotes have safeties built in and will not allow you to do anything with the quadcopter with the throttle in any position but down.
Which is why when you turn it on, you gotta have both sticks down.
Well, you can turn it on and have it like I've done this numerous times, and it's because I know the system. I'll have the throttle like halfway or all the way up, because I know when I set it down and bind it, it's not going to take off because it's built into that helicopter or into that quad. But if you get into that practice and you do it with one that doesn't have that safety, as soon as you turn that thing on and it binds, it's going to go flying right into your face.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you always want to keep the throttle down. You always want to bind. Here's the procedure. You always unplug or turn off the quad before you turn off the TX. That's a rule, and there's a reason why. Because I've seen this happen in RC planes all the time. Somebody would turn off their transmitter, and all of a sudden their plane would just take off. Would just start going.
Oh, because it picks up a signal.
It picks up a stray signal.
Yep.
Somebody else's signal interfered. And you do that all the time with quadcopters, helicopters, everything. You make sure they're off. You know, and then you turn
That's
off the
pretty
TX off. You after you either unplug it or turn it off. Because if that radio is in your control and you follow safety procedures, in other words, you don't put your hands anywhere near the blades, you're fine. And little quads like like this little, the Hubsan, etc. Give you a little sting, a little slap, but it's not going to kill you. So they're a little bit different. But I'm talking about the full size ones where they will actually take off the finger. Again, I've seen this in RC planes, where a person will lose a finger because they weren't careful. Yeah.
Ew,
Let's say that is not very fun. Thankfully, there was. Remember the club who's there who was EMT? Was right on the situation.
Did they reattach it?
No, he lost his finger. He was too far away from the hospital to be able to have it saved and reattached.
Mm-hmm.
Not like everybody carries ice and etc. to keep it on ice.
Mm-hmm.
He actually lost his finger. His finger was separated from his hand. They are like spinning knife blades.
Yeah, so they couldn't find the finger, or?
No, they found the finger, but no way to keep it on ice.
Yeah.
To get it in time to save.
It's pretty much like when that happens, you get it right on ice, you can run to the hospital to get it reattached, right?
Yeah, he lost his finger from the, your main knuckle down, to your fingertip. He lost all that. He basically has a little stub left.
Yeah. That's a good lesson.
Yeah, that's when you deal with the bigger ones, like, the Phantom, which is a bigger quad. You can lose your finger to that.
That's scary.
That is very scary. And when you're in the RC hobby long enough, you will get bit. It's how badly you get bit is,
So what you're saying is for the children, don't fly quads?
For the children, never touch anything that's going to kill them. We got to, make sure those butter knives are thrown away. You can only use sporks.
No, you can poke a kid's eye out with that.
Oh, that's right, you could. Okay, you can only use spoons. But only the bowl of the spoon. You got to get rid of the handle.
Alright, I think that's pretty much.
That's it. I'm not talking anymore.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, we're going to end it on that one.
On that
On that note,